so much.
P.S. I Love You. I think that story is beautiful. I think that's.
I don't know that I've thought about my top 3 that bad.
I definitely have. P.S. I Love You, hands down, number 1. That I think that story is beautiful. I think Hilary Swank fucking kills that shit, and I think Gerard Butler is perfect. Second is Sleepless in Seattle, and third is A Day to Remember.
Nice.
Oh, A Day to Remember, that one.
So Day to Remember. I don't think I've watched that.
Stop. That one's so sad. You like the sad ones, don't you?
Oh my God, that one.
No.
In terms of romance, I need to cry.
Oh, I would cry.
In terms of like romance,
I do have a favorite romance movie. Me After You might be number 2.
Me Before You.
A Walk to Remember.
that was my 4th.
A Walk to Remember is 100%.
Wait, what did you say, Juan?
A Day to Remember.
I meant that one. I meant A Walk to Remember.
Walk to Remember.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Favorite, number 1, 100%.
Heartbreaking.
I just found a movie that you were like, everybody loves, and I cannot fuck with. Bridget Jones. The whole Bridget Jones diary thing.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't know that one.
I don't like it.
They made like 4 fucking movies of that. They loved it. And I was like, you're shitting me.
It's a book, right? It's a book, right?
Bridget
something
Jones?
like that.
Like,
I can't.
Y'all know the Bridgerton being
I haven't seen that either.
Bridgerton is like it's another
it's on
romance
season 2 right
thing.
now. Yeah,
Yes, and
it's like Victorian romance.
Well, no, it has to do with
It's based on
the
a
Duke
book,
and
yeah.
I. The Duke and I is a book, like a book or whatever. And then,
but it's set in Victorian times, right?
Yes. And I like those kinds of shows.
That was the only reason
I like
that
those kinds of movies in romance.
Okay, I'm gonna.
They gotta end up together, or else I'm
I know that
punching
we're.
somebody.
I know that we're gearing towards the end, but like I have to be real careful about like just because like if it's in Victorian time and it's Jane Austen, it's gonna fucking kill. It's gonna be fucking amazing, right? Because she's so smart, right? If it's Emily Bronte, not so much. Because Wuthering Heights, as much as Wuthering Heights is in the canon, it's in the canon for a very specific reason, and people miss the fucking mark. Those characters are not characters to look up to.
No, they're not.
Even though that trope is everywhere. Wuthering Heights is Twilight.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're
Twilight,
not doing it, bro.
It's 50
That's
Shades,
not it.
It's all of it, and I love it.
That's not it. You're missing the fucking point.
Hey,
if you're,
were we talking about butterfly effects? Was that happening
Kutcher?
here? No.
No.
Butterfly effect, like then never mind. Sorry, that was.
I liked Emily Bronte's.
I've never.
I like them for what they're supposed to be, but when you look at Emily Bronte, and maybe I'm mischaracterizing this along because I haven't read about Emily Bronte since like early college, but from what I understand, she became famous for her books because everybody gravitated towards those books, but they gravitated towards those books for the fantastical element of it, not because she was specifically trying to make a point about society the way that Jane Austen was trying to make a point about society.
That's why we fuck with Jane Austen.
That's why we fucks with Jane. You know what I mean? But Emily Bronte really believed in those tropes. Like Emily Bronte really thought Edward Cullen was like the fucking guy.
Like
and Jane Austen's Darcy is Edward Cullen, and he flips it. He's like, oh yeah, he's rich. He's the rich guy that you should be. He's the kind of asshole. He doesn't treat you well. But then she flips it at the end where he's like, no, he's actually a very considerate person. He's not an asshole. He's not characterized by his richness. He's not molded by it. He's not privileged by
man.
it. He wants you for your character. Whereas Edward Cullen, there's never that. He's just always constantly. And I didn't gravitate towards Wuthering Heights like that. I don't even know the guy's name. Heathcliff, yeah. Get the fuck out of there with that shit. That's not it.
I like Wuthering Heights because of
and there's also the controversy that they don't know which sister actually wrote the book.
There is,
because the Bronte sisters they were both writers, and they found the manuscripts after the fact, after the day. So they don't know if Emily is the one that wrote it, or if her older sister, the one that they don't talk about much, is actually the one that actually made all those things happen.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah. I did not know that.
But
I don't know. But I fuck with
that's like super nerdy.
Pride and Prejudice is like my all-time go-to movie. I don't like.
You gotta read Emma. You gotta read Persuasion.
I want to, but I am so stuck on loving Pride and Prejudice, the book. I reread it like every year, religiously.
It's the best one, but there are more nuances in other ones. Like in Emma, there's more nuance. There's more relatable characters. Pride and Prejudice is her pride and joy because that is the time that she was able to create these archetypes so perfectly.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes,
so like Pride and Prejudice touches on a lot of those tropes at the same time.
Yeah.
And then she makes this like great overlying message behind it that your pride can get in your way and your prejudice can get in your way.
Yeah.
That like Darcy's pride will get in your way of getting true love, and Lizzie's prejudice towards him is gonna get in the way, and they have to get over both those things in order to find love or whatever. But Emma and Persuasion, those movies have much more like very nuanced characters and like very specific moments that happen to them that you're just like, oh crap, like girl, you're about to go through this. So it's more like it's more like in depth and more specific, case specific, as opposed to like overarching. These characters are supposed to represent something more than themselves. They're actually like stories where where she dives in, and it's like a very specific case by case scenario where like this happens to Emma and this happens to, and then you have to deal with that in the book or whatever. Whereas like Lizzie is representative of like what Jane wants women to be, what she hopes women to be, what they need to see themselves as. And then she writes Heathcliff as like, Darcy as this like what she aspires men to actually be, not the like scoundrels and ridiculous asses that they were back then and still are now, you know?
Yes.
So, love it. Anyway, any other movies? I can't think of another movie that like everybody loves that I'm just like, I'm not fucking with it.
I don't know.
I'm sure it exists, but like maybe not in the rom-com romance side of it.
I have a really hard time not liking romances.
What's a movie that you love that other people don't like?
Ooh. A movie that I really enjoy that other people do not like.
You don't like these, but
I think mine is kind of 50. Like there's the people who love it loved it. Yeah. And then there's people that were like, I didn't fucking like it. It was stupid.
In terms of like rom-coms and
just in general.
Just in general.
Mine is Midsommar. I think Midsommar was brilliant.
Really?
And so many people were like, I didn't fucking get it. It was fucking stupid. I was like, you're just dumb.
No, I'm sure there is.
Midsommar was brilliant.
I'm sure there is. Requiem for a Dream. I think people really liked it. I think it was either one of the two. Like either people really liked it or people really disliked it, and the people that disliked it because of that they thought that it was glamorizing drug use, and I thought that it was like a really an artistic, a phenomenal movie on the artistic side. Jared Leto was in it.
You and Jared Leto, what is
I really like that movie. You guys should watch Requiem for a Dream. It's fucking phanomenal. But you know, I don't know. It might, you know, I do like some other some movies that are like very like pop culture centric that like people either like were like like I can't believe you like that, but it's like big movies.
What's an old movie that you guys are like, it doesn't have to be romantic, but like an old movie that you're like, damn, like this is a
movie that people love that I didn't like. Oh, this is gotta be controversial. I did not like Breakfast at Tiffany's.
No?
I couldn't finish.
Breakfast
I couldn't
Club.
watch it.
I wasn't a big fan.
I love Breakfast Club.
Oh, I loved the Breakfast Club.
I wasn't a big, huge fan of the Breakfast Club.
I love the Breakfast. My personality.
I don't dislike it, but I was like,
junior year of high school, my personality was just liking 80s like rom-coms. Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, Say Anything, like all that. Like John Hughes was my fucking messiah.
Yeah.
Like that was my shit.
I feel that. Yeah, no, I
wasn't really shaped by romantic like John Hughes stuff like that when I was in.
And again,
junior.
Breakfast Club, like fucking Claire and what was his name? Why can't I think of the name?
I really like Love Actually.
Yes.
I really don't fucking like Love Actually. Another movie I could not fucking finish. I was like, I don't understand why people love it so much. I don't fuck with it.
I like Love Actually.
I like that one.
I like the whole scene of him in the outside with the cards.
Yeah.
I thought I was like, man, I really like this, but I also didn't know how problematic it is. I'm like, bro, like I don't like. I like it and I don't like it at the same time. You know what I mean?
What about non-romantic?
I'm trying to think. Like, there's some pop culture movies that I actually do like. That like people really don't.
Claire and Bender, they hated each other in Breakfast Club. I loved that shit. I loved it.
I wasn't as much as people really enjoy it. I wasn't. I understand, but I haven't gone back to it since Fight Club.
I haven't watched it.
I mean, I watched it once. I watched it twice. Great art. Like, you know what I mean? For the director, like, I see what people are talking about. It's a classic, but like, I'm not going back to it.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is like that was how I felt about that one. I was like, it's good, it's whatever.
Ferris Bueller.
The one thing that I like about it is that it goes through like Chicago, like downtown Chicago, and shows off Chicago.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was just like, okay, like it's a cute movie, but like
Ferris Bueller.
I liked it.
I
Yeah,
liked
it was
it.
fun. Yeah, I wouldn't be like, it was the best movie in the world, but I think it was really fun.
I enjoy it a lot. I enjoyed watching that. The one movie to me that like changed pretty much everything about how I viewed everything in life was Dead Poet Society. So like that
Robin
movie,
fucking
phenomenal.
Williams.
That movie
in my
was-
video about New York,
yeah.
I have a clip on there about the Dead Poet Society because he talks about Walt Whitman, and I'm a big, huge transcendentalist fan. Like in literature, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman. I fucks with that
the
heavy.
amount of like, and I don't mean pretentious because I think you're pretentious, but the statements that have come out of your mouth today in a span of like what, hour and a half? How long have we been? The things
2 hours and 11 minutes.
It's like, what is your mind?
It's just the way
I really like Walden. Walt Whitman's Walden is fucking
just
great.
like the nuances behind it, like how they just portrayed.
That was Ethan Hawke's first big break.
Delicate, like
crazy.
everything is just like the way that they maneuvered through the characters, the
Hawke.
relationships,
Ethan Hawke.
everything.
Dead Poet Society?
Yeah, he was in Dead Poet Society. He was one of the students.
It's such a great movie.
Why can't I think of him?
His most recent endeavor is
No. I know who Ethan Hawke is.
okay.
I can't place him in Dead
Oh,
Poets.
he looks really young. He's got like short hair. He's the
But
guy.
he's not one of the main. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, he's part of like the society, but
But yeah, sorry. Yeah, I guess all of that does sound pretentious, huh? There's
not pretend. Just very. You know what I mean?
Like you wouldn't think of it?
I don't. It's just
there's a T.S. Eliot
repeat the
book.
sentence that came out of your. I can't even like.
Leaves of Grass is right there. It's right next to you.
Ethan
I didn't
Hawke
realize
was
this
not.
was
Oh my god,
is in
he
it.
was.
He is in it.
Oh, I forgot he was the little boy. Oh
Yeah, he was
yeah,
the little-
I get. He was the shy one. I get it now.
Yeah. Like Leaves of Grass is right there, right next to Jay-Z's Decoded.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway,
It's a book.
anyway, I can't read, so
I watch reality TV.
yeah.
She just said I watch reality TV.
I don't know how to read. I watch Love Island for fun. That's the most stimulating.
I don't know how to read.
Just kidding. I just bought The Great Gatsby in Spanish because maybe I'll be able to read it. if it's
Gatsby's
in
a classic.
Spanish. I mean, I
Gatsby's
read it in
so
high school,
good.
but I read it in English.
Gatsby's like the
Talk about
book-
lost in memories.
the book itself and the way that it talks
This
about just society
What
as
is
a
it with
whole,
men not being able
as
to move
men
on?
and women, their
I
societal
have
roles.
the same thing I have the same critique I have of the guy from Notebook is the same critique I have for Gatsby. Bro, move on.
Let it go.
You gotta go.
Fucking crazy.
You gotta move the fuck on, bro.
Crazy.
You gotta move on. Especially Gatsby,
Lord.
bro.
So good, though.
You're in the middle of depression and you having parties every weekend, bro. Like,
It's
Just for
that
some
new
girl who's not
money.
showing
move
up.
the fuck on, dog.
It's
like,
that new money trying to show you the green light at the end of your road.
fuck out of here. But you
Nah,
know,
I'm
Gatsby.
over it.
There's a movie. Speaking of movies, and we can end it with this. We watched the movie recently called Paris by Night. Right? What's it called?
Yeah.
Like
Paris
I've
by
heard of it.
It's
I
with
think.
it's with Luke Wilson or Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
That's
I
like
heard
one
about
of
that.
his like, but like what people like.
I just saw it. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. It's not like one of those things that it's like phenomenal. Rachel McAdams is in it.
He's a really good actor.
It's not like it's.
I really enjoy.
I only know him by
acting.
like Shanghai Nights and like Shanghai Noon, and I think I always
What
want
are
him to be like really funny.
Not by
But
that.
like
But he's got really good movies.
he in that movie
I feel like I know him by like Wedding Crashers.
is speaking of like the pretentiousness, right, of like these sentences. In this movie, he goes back in time in Paris and he's talking to like he's talking to
Oh, he did Wonder. He did Marley and Me. Nah, Owen Wilson got some.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some bangers.
He's got some
classic-
resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got some bangers. But in that movie, he goes back in time. Like at night, he keeps going back in time, and he's a script writer or something like that. And he starts like having conversations with like Hemingway and Picasso and like all
my God.
like, and Dali, because Paris was the mecca of art at the time. So like it was so cool. I was like, it was like 1 a.m. we started watching it. It was like 3 a.m. I was like,
Oh my God, that's
he's talking to Dali right now. He's talking to Dali. He's talking to Salvador Dali, and it's just so like the artist in me was like, oh my God, that's fucking.
I just
precious.
thought of my third one.
What's the
I'm sorry, I keep going back.
No, go
this
back,
is
go,
how
go,
I
go,
process
go ahead.
information. I said number 1 was A Walk to Remember.
Yeah.
Mandy Moore. I mean, that movie changed my life. Number 2, Me
Speaking
Before
of
You.
Tangled, you like Mandy Moore.
I love Mandy Moore.
Because Mandy Moore's voice is
I know. I love her. Like, I never realized. It's just, she was one of those actresses that I was like, damn, bitch, I love you.
Mandy Moore slept on for sure.
Love
Watch
Put
This
some
Is
respect
Us.
on Mandy
you know
Moore's
how
name.
I've talked to you about This Is Us. Guess who's fucking starred in that? Mandy fucking Moore. I started watching it because I followed that bitch on Instagram because I love her. And
Put some respect on Mandy Moore's
her
name.
performances are phenomenal. My Emmy-winning queen. Anyway, number 1, I Walk to Remember. Number 2, Me Before You. Her. Number 3, Her.
Her?
I haven't. Okay, so I've
Joaquin
never seen
Phoenix.
that one.
Jaykwon, my boy Jaykwon.
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Anyway, Her is. I feel like you would like it.
I probably
because
would.
it's not.
I was very confused though.
I loved it.
It's Scarlett Johansson's voice, right? She's the
He falls in love.
machine.
It's like in the future.
Oh, is that the one where
And
he falls in love with the robot or whatever?
it's like
Essentially,
Siri,
yes.
isn't it? Like he falls in love with
But I
Siri.
know that sounds fucking crazy.
Sounds creepy
but
as fuck.
I know it does because I remember I heard about it and I heard about it like that and I was like, what the fuck?
But you
and
saw
then
it?
I watched it like years later. For whatever reason, I ended up watching it. I think it was just because I realized that it was Joaquin Phoenix, and by then I knew who Joaquin Phoenix was. And I watched it and that movie blew my fucking mind. Like, one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. You have to watch it. Anyway,
Okay,
that's it.
fine.
That's my top
If it
three.
made your top 3, I'll have to go watch it because
sure.
and respect to Jaykwon Firebird because he was
Stop fucking. What are you saying? I would not stand by this. Cut the cameras.
No,
Dead ass.
that's what Black Twitter refers to him as after Joker.
Well, you're not Black Twitter.
I know, but I really like it.
I don't care.
I like it.
They-
Move
Jaykwon.
on. Firebird.
Yeah.
As we would say to Gatsby and whoever the fuck we're talking about, let it go.
Let it go.
That's funny.
But they have the best things in there.
Let black people have things.
They have
Let
the best
them
things.
have
Y'all
things.
have the best things.
It's-
Black Twitter.
yeah,
Y'all
let
have
them.
the best things. I'm gonna keep.
We
calling
have
him
our
Jaykwon.
things.
I'm gonna keep calling him Jaykwon. Maybe I won't call him Firebird.
You can call him Joaquin Pajarito if you want.
Joaquin Pajarito.
Like, make your own thing.
That's the one. Oh God.
Nerd.
Alrighty. Well.
All right.
Next time.
I'm glad that we spent 2 hours talking about movies
We really spent 2 hours talking about love, y'all.
and love. I love love.
We love love.